This just in, Jayboy isn't dead. As a matter of fact, you can find him on Twitch, as he's been pretty active on there recently too. I'll be pouring more and more of my time into Twitch as the year progresses, but for now, we had a fantastic launch. Within 3 weeks, we've already hit affiliate status. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Links are in the description. I'll see all of you later, you beautiful damn people, you. This is Patron of Lost Causes. This gun is an interesting topic, to say the least. This is, at first glance, one of the best scout rifles in Destiny 2 as of right now. It's a time-lost weapon, one that you can get on Nessus. The best known role as of right now is this one, right here. Rapid hit and explosive payload. So before we get into this, let's start by taking a more detailed look at the gun itself. We're looking at a 60 in impact, a 49 in range, 48 in stability, and a 66 in handling. Aim assist is at a 67, and reload speed is at a 58, which is relative, of course, because of rapid hit. So all around, just by default, this is a fantastic rifle. So much so, it actually has another rifle that it almost mirrors. The Mida multi-tool. In order to review this weapon and really analyze it properly, I think it's necessary to look at the closest relative that this gun has. So when we look at the Mida, we see that the stats are nearly identical, excluding handling and reload speed. It has an impact of 60, a range of 50, a stability of 50, and a handling of 86, and a reload speed of 82. So when we look at these guns right next to one another, you can see that excluding handling and reload speed, that these two rifles are nearly identical in every conceivable way, with the exception of third and fourth slot perks. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take them into a few lost sectors, and we're going to see just how they handle when compared to one another. It's important to remember that while these guns are almost identical, they don't feel identical by any means. Patron has superb handling for what it is. It's sharp to shoot, the crack of the muzzle each time a round comes flying out is beyond all forms of satisfying, and it swaps exceedingly fast. A chambered compensator gives it a slight boost in stability, though that's not really a concern with a mouse and a keyboard, with a pinch of recoil control that slightly takes away from its overall handling stat. I chose this over small bore because I've never been a ranged shooter, and as I said earlier, an increase to stability isn't something that I specifically have to worry about because I'm using a mouse, which makes it significantly easier to control. Now, on the flip side, rapid hit can be a game-changing perk. It can take something like a Duke Mark 44 and turn it into a viable option for PvE environments, giving the player an edge by drastically reducing the time it takes to reload. In critical moments or damage phases, this can be a very handy perk if you're more of a precision shooter. It works the same exact way for this rifle, too. My reload speeds are blindingly fast, especially when I proc Chains of Woe ×3 on top of rapid hit ×5. Explosive payload is also a godsend as well, because each round now has a small AoE field on it, making it significantly easier to hit targets. It doesn't actually increase the size of the hitbox by any means, but it gives the illusion that it does, which is good enough for me. In terms of damage, it's all relative, but in this lost sector specifically, I'm hitting a body shot for 295 over 227, resulting in an additive total of 522 per round going out. Granted, this is a minor target that we're talking about, but still, the extra damage does make a difference. The weapon moves, and it moves quickly. It feels good when you have it in your hands. Its magazine is large enough by default for it to be something that the player can rely on without having to swap weapons to finish off major or minor targets. The scope is agile and light, and it takes almost no time to aim down sights. It is exceedingly easy to hit for critical damage with this gun. Overall, this is a very well designed weapon. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about damage, and for this, I've taken us to my tribute hall, and I'm going to pump a boss full of rounds until it dies. You can see here that every crit is hitting for 1204 over 626 with an additive total of 1830. For a scout rifle, that's actually pretty decent damage. It's not something I'd use in a damage phase by any means, but for majors and minors, this is far more than just simply acceptable. This is good. This is a good this is a good gun. There, I said it. This is a good gun. I like it. It's awesome. And since this thing is finally dead, now we can move to the next scene. Finally. There are a multitude of reasons that I would take Patron over Mida, but the biggest one is that I absolutely hate the optics on the Mida. It's bulky, it's uncomfortable to look at, and I always find myself missing my shots, so on and so forth. That's not really a gun issue as much as it is a me issue, but still it gives me hell and I hate it. The most annoying thing about comparing an exotic to a legendary is that one of them has the potential to be significantly better than the exotic because of random generated perks and gun parts. The Mida is set in stone. There's nothing you can do to change it or any other exotic, so if you hate it, you hate it. And yes, for the record, in case it wasn't already made clear, I hate it. It moves quickly, yes, its reload time is superb for sure, and its handling is off the charts without a doubt, but the issue that I have with it is that unlike Patron, Rapid Hit is not available, and Explosive Payload is absent. Two perks that made the previous gun absolutely amazing are gone. The excess damage that was going out is no longer there, and while the weapon moves like a hot knife through butter, it doesn't change the fact that it just doesn't feel the same as Patron. These are two different guns with nearly identical stats, but to me specifically, one just doesn't feel anywhere near as good as the other. To a degree, it isn't completely fair to compare a legendary to an exotic, but in the same sense, exotics are designed to break the laws of the game to a degree. They're supposed to be good and unique, so that way they stand out and change the way that we handle combat, but sometimes exotic isn't always the best. The reason why I used Mida as a comparison here is because it is what it is and can't be changed. There are no random variables to account for, and in essence, it is the 200 RPM scout rifle. If any other 200 RPM scout rifle handles on par or more so than Mida, it's a good weapon to have. This is why, even though I hate Mida, I can't say it's bad by any means, because the only thing that really separates these two weapons based on Patron's perks and Mida's base stats is overall weapon handling. It's really personal preference as to which is better, honestly. And my personal preference says that Patron is clearly the best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am still hard at work on a Titan build, but sadly I have no choice but to wait on a friend for the guest work that he wanted to do for it. So once that video is out of the oven, I will immediately upload it, and then we can cringe over it together like one big happy family. Until next time, Jayboy out.